Hi everyone, my name is Hadel-Lynn. I am 25 years old and I recently decided to quit Instagram completely 5 months ago, and it's honestly been one of the best decisions of my life. Usually I film at home, but I decided since it's kind of a nice fall day out, let's just try and do something brave and film outside. I'm going to talk about how long I was on Instagram, why I decided to quit, and what has been going on ever since I quit Instagram. If you enjoy this video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe, and with that, let's get started. I started Instagram in 2015 roughly. That was around my senior year of high school, and I was considered late joining on. And at first, Instagram was a really fun platform to keep up with your friends. And during college especially, I used it a lot. I pretty much posted, I think once a month. However, you started seeing a lot of changes with Instagram. They started adding Instagram Reels. They started adding the stories. And I started to see two main things about using Instagram. People either posted a lot or they didn't post at all, but they liked everyone else's stuff or just liked scrolling through it. Instagram was one of the apps where I would mindlessly scroll for hours on end. I could probably spend more than 5 hours just mindlessly scrolling, and it was getting really addictive, and it was really impacting my mental health to where I just, for years and years, I just never felt like I was good enough. I never felt like I had accomplished enough because I saw everyone living their best lives. And although I'm happy that everyone is living their best lives, I always felt like I wasn't doing enough for myself, and I often felt the need to try and push harder, always constantly in the back of my mind say my life isn't as good as everyone else's because they post all these cool things and I'm not doing all these cool things. I really decided to first take a break from the app by deleting it off my phone around late 2022. I want to say around November, and I thought I was just only going to do it for a month, but I kept going, and I felt honestly so much happier and healthier that I didn't have this constant influx of everyone's lives in my face. Not that I don't want to know what my friends are up to, but it's just more, I felt the sense of peace, and it felt like a weight had been lifted off of my shoulders. Basically, what made me decide to delete the app is this year alone, 2023, I've had a lot of big changes happen in my life, and I was kind of going through a really dark rabbit hole per se, and I really had to decide how am I going to put myself first. And it wasn't until May 2023, so just a few months ago, I decided to completely get rid of Instagram. For those of you who don't know, in order to delete Instagram, it takes 30 days. You go into your account setting, put in a request to delete your account, and you're not allowed to log in at all for 30 days. I think it's honestly crazy that in order to delete your account, it takes 30 days. I understand from a business perspective why they do that, just because the purpose of any app, particularly social media, is to keep you on as long as possible. I mean, you are a consumer. During this time frame, late June is when my account got fully deleted. I was still going through a really rough patch in my life, and it was the best decision to not be on Instagram, to where I had already been taking a break from Instagram for months, where when it got deleted, I didn't even notice. When your account first gets deleted, you're really shocked by the amount of free time you have, and you're like, well, what am I going to do with all this free time? And you get a little bit of FOMO because you're like, well, this is usually the time I'm scrolling mindlessly. But over time, you actually kind of adjust to it, where you find things to fill your time with. As in, for me, I started nursing school just recently. I started in May, and so that has been taking up a lot of my time. I've also gotten into more hobbies like reading. I haven't been able to post as much YouTube videos as much as I want, but at least now I can focus more on the quality of the content rather than producing the quantity. Personally, I feel this sense of peace that I have been craving for so long, and it's incredible how much power one app alone can have over your entire life. Now, how has getting rid of Instagram changed my life? For me, I feel this sense of peace and I feel this sense of happiness, and I really get to enjoy the moment a lot more than I ever did when I was on the app. Now, like when I take a photo or a video, the purpose is not to be like, oh, I want to post this so all my friends can see it and get a sense of validation from the likes. It's more like, oh, I want to take a photo or video of this because I want to remember this moment more for myself. So I have learned 5 things since quitting Instagram. 1, your personal peace is invaluable. I know so many people who suffer from different forms of mental health issues, and unfortunately it's a very common thing in our society nowadays just because there has been more awareness of it. And I'm not saying that deleting social media is going to fix all your problems. It's not. For me personally, as someone struggled and sometimes still struggles with certain issues, I would say that it gives me a sense of clarity and a sense of peace that I haven't had in a really long time. I don't think I felt this peaceful since, I don't think ever. Maybe when I was like a little kid, when I didn't have responsibilities and didn't have to think about anything. But I will say I haven't felt this level of happiness and peace in like a really long time. Now, number 2, you honestly learn who your real friends are. When I decided to delete Instagram, I didn't tell anyone because why would I? I don't have a reason to announce that. I'm not like a celebrity or anything. I'm just a normal human being, I'm just a normal girl, But no, seriously, I didn't tell anyone, and it wasn't the end of the world when I left, and it has allowed me to really pay attention and really foster the relationships in my life. And because now that I've quit that one app, we actually have to make an effort to talk with one another, to call one another, to check in with one another. And that level of work to maintain certain relationships, especially like in your 20s, without the use of Instagram, it's a lot of work, and it really demonstrates how good of a friend or good of a person is to you, like in your life. The people that I choose to foster relationships with now, I know they are very near and dear to my heart, and they're, they keep it real with me just because both of us want to actually communicate with each other without having the convenience of, oh my God, you posted something and I got to see it. No, you actually have to make an effort, like call and text one another, maybe like every few months or so, to really figure out what's going on in people's lives. Now, the 3rd thing I learned is you will be disconnected a little bit from society, and that's not honestly a bad thing. It just can be a little bit weird. I know for me, like sometimes a lot of the events that my school hosts are on Instagram, and I do not have Instagram, so I never really know about it. But luckily I do have friends who have the app, and they tell me if I want to know like about a certain event, or I can just like go up and actually email people or ask them myself about the certain event. And honestly, ignorance kind of is bliss to a certain extent. Seeing everyone's posts about their life, it is such an information overload, and I don't need to know everything of every second about people's lives, because some people, they overpost, they overshare, and I don't need that. Now, number 4, I usually get one of 2 reactions whenever I tell people I don't have an Instagram. People will either, 1, applaud me for leaving social media and be like, good for you, or the second reaction is, what? Why would you ever do such a thing? Especially because I'm really into creating YouTube videos. How are you gonna grow as a content creator? Well, I just want to create content for myself, and I hope that my work is able to spread for itself. Either way, either reaction, it's such a big shock factor because like I'm 25, I'm considered the butt end of Gen Z. I should quote unquote have it. And people are fine if you don't have Facebook, or you don't have TikTok, or you don't have Snapchat, or like Twitter. But for some reason, Instagram is the main app where everyone's like, why would you do that? But honestly, I like not having it, and it makes me happy. And number 5, the very last thing that I've learned is primarily in relation to people who want to do content creation. Honestly, when I had Instagram, I don't feel like having an Instagram was the main factor of my growth for YouTube. I am a small channel, and that's fine. I like being a small channel. And whenever I would actually use Instagram, I would only really use the stories. They were like, oh, that's cool, but they wouldn't actually watch it. I would have to be, friendly with the algorithm in order to do that, to get the level of growth that I wanted. I know for sure if you do have TikTok, it's really easy to, well, like not easy per se, but like easier to kind of grow as a creator. Maybe over time I will develop more into like the YouTube Shorts era, but TikTok is not exactly a route that I want to do. Overall, am I going to tell you to quit Instagram and tell everyone to quit? No, that's up to you. I think the importance of me sharing my story is if you are on the verge of whether or not you should quit Instagram, definitely I feel like sharing my story can help you personally decide whether or not you think it's the best decision for you to leave Instagram or not, or any other social media platform. Again, I'm still on other social media platforms, but I rarely use them. And now that I quit Instagram, it really changed how I interact on those platforms. Just know that overall, I'm very happy with my decision. I think it was the best decision for me, but I cannot decide like what is the best decision for you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that this helps you decide what is the right decision for you. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe. And with that, I wish you all a very good night.